What's up, my crypto legends? In this episode, we're taking a look at the Bitcoin price. As you can see, it is just about to break out from the resistance. Are we going to manage to break out in between today and tomorrow? Well, this is what we are going to take a look. We're also eyeing this bump and run scenario, okay, potential retest of resistance in the coming days. This is something that we are going to talk about today. We're also looking at the 2-hourly chart to check out the major levels, major support ranges where we could get a big bounce, major resistance that we need to break, okay, to turn into support, or that we could either get heavily rejected. And remember, tomorrow we do have the FOMC meeting, all right, and the press conference, so we could see a lot of volatility by tomorrow. And I'm going to take a look at the S&P today with you because there is a potential big support here. We are printing a very interesting candle here on the daily that could be bullish for the next coming days, so make sure to stay tuned. Hello there, Andy here. Welcome back to another episode of Bitcoinsensus. New to the channel, make sure to subscribe daily to hear on Bitcoin crypto. I also do live streams to connect with the community. Not financial advisors, do not buy or sell anything that I say. If you do so, do your own research. Let's dive in. If this video gets over 2,000 likes, you comment down below, you are eligible for a giveaway in Bitcoin. Let's dive in, guys, because first of all, I want to talk about this bump and run scenario, okay? And yes, this doesn't mean that this is going to be a successful bump and run. There's a failed bump and run a lot of the times, okay? But what I'm going to tell you is that 80-90% of the times the Bitcoin price, after a big massive drop, after a lower high, it usually comes back up to retest the resistance from the lower high. And I can show you multiple scenarios here that have happened in the past from lower highs and a kind of a capitulation event, okay? We got one right over here. As you can see, we got the highs and the lower high. So as you can see, you have the lower high and then a massive big drop, something very similar to what happened here. Now, a lot of the times, and like I said, 80, even 90% of the times, we come back up to retest at least the resistance from these lower highs. So we consolidated here for a while, then had that leg up. In this case, we did break up, then back down, but we retested the resistance. There is another one right over here that I want to show you, okay? There's this one right there, and there's also this one right over here. Look at this. We had the highs right over here, another lower high just before the massive big drop, consolidation, come back up, retest resistance, breakout to the upside. The resistance from these lower highs was retested. Let's go and zoom out a little bit and find some other major opportunities. I think there's one right over here. We do have lower high right over there, okay, and then a pretty aggressive drop and a consolidation. In this case, we did not break to the upside, but we did retest the resistance of the lower highs. As you can see, look at this. The resistance was retested from lower highs. So let's try and find some other ones, okay? I can show you multiple examples, okay, from this kind of bump and run scenario. We got the highs right over here, a major drop, a lower high, and then the massive capitulation. What happened here? Also a bump and run scenario, okay, right there. If we do connect the lower highs, then I remember a lot of people being extremely bearish. We're just going to continue to the downside. I remember talking about this bump and run scenario. You know, look at this. We actually retested the resistance from the lower highs and finally had a pretty successful breakout. Now the resistance was retested. So I mean, I could just go back and show you multiple examples, okay, from lower highs and then a capitulation phase. Retested resistance, retested resistance, retested resistance, retested resistance. So what I am looking for here is a potential retest of resistance. Now this doesn't mean this is the bottom. We could have a little bit of volatility, even hitting $37,000, of course, but I do see that retest, all right, potentially in between $42,000 and $43,000, you know, in the next coming days, potentially, or a week or two maximum, all right? So I think this is very likely going to happen. Now, if we are going to break successfully from this range or break down, nobody knows this, but I think the probabilities in coming back up to retest the resistance here from the lower highs is very, very high. And as you can see, we do have this descending wedge pattern, all right, that is just about to break up. Now, we do have the FOMC meeting tomorrow, all right? And if we do have a pump today, really aggressive pump, I would be super cautious, okay? Because this might be a trap, because tomorrow we're going to have massive interest rate hikes, okay, approved from, you know, Powell. You know, who knows? It might be, you know, 0.5 or it might be 1%, okay? And of course, this is not going to be good for the traditional stock markets, and it will affect crypto. I prefer actually us to have a little bit of consolidation at this range, even dip slightly to the downside before the meeting, and then probably we will have, you know, that good news that the hikes, you know, are going to be reduced to 0.25, or, you know, who knows what's going to happen, if there is going to be good news or bad news, and then potentially, you know, look for that potential breakout on Bitcoin. There is high probability, just by looking at the charts, that we are potentially going to break up, of course. Expect some volatility. We could retest the lows of this wedge, which is at $37,000. This is a drop of $1,500. If we zoom in here, okay, let's just remind ourselves where we at right now. Okay, looking at the daily, we are retesting the resistance from the higher lows. As you can see, some people might think, you know, that this is just a gigantic bear flag and we're going to break support and go to extremely low levels. As soon as we start breaking this support here with a strong daily candle with volume, then yeah, I'm going to consider that we are going to go to much lower levels. As long as we're holding support, I am still bullish. Okay, I long support, I short resistance. We're currently at support. We have huge daily, weekly levels at this range mentioned on yesterday's video at 37.7, holding very nicely, getting those bounces, and we also have the descending wedge. Now, what is the most important is taking a look at major levels. All right, I have a huge amount of lines that I only know which ones they are, but I just want to explain the ones that we got below us and also the ones that we got above us, all right, that are going to be heavy resistance. First of all, the strongest ones that we do have above us is this daily level at 39.7, and also this one at $40,400. It is as simple as just going to the daily chart and marking those daily closes and opens. As you can see at this range, potential retest and some resistance is very likely at this range. Okay, so zooming back out on the 4 hourly here, what I want to show you, okay, is that we need to successfully at least break above, you know, if we do drop now from this range, okay, in the next coming hours, this is going to be a lower high. Okay, as you can see, lower high right there. So if we do break out in between today and tomorrow, breaking above the last lower high is going to be, you know, extremely good. This is going to be what we want to see. Now, if I zoom out here on the chart, we can see that we need to get above these daily levels. All right, there's not much VPVR. All right, we are currently above slightly. Basically, we are at the strongest point of control. This is from the last volume traded for the last 10 days approximately. As you can see inside of this range, the biggest point of control is right over here. We're just at that level. So if we do manage, you know, to successfully have a big breakout, you know, in the coming days, we don't mind if we're going to have a drop or finally break up, you know, maybe in the next coming hours, tomorrow morning. But if we successfully break above this range here, the last lower highs, well above the $39,200, getting above this major daily level where we have been getting supported, as you can see here in the past, then this is very likely going to be a successful breakout from the descending wedge. Okay, that is what I am eyeing here. Okay, if we do break out this range, then very, very likely we do have a chance to continue to the upside, create a higher low and continue up. Now, there's also the case that we are just getting big resistance here, and this is not going to break out from this level. And if we do come down, of course, now big major levels is the 37.7, all right, this level where we did get several bounces here the last few days. If we do break this range, I am looking for that big bounce at the $37,000, exactly $37,000, because it's a huge daily level. All right, as you can see, zooming out here on the chart, many daily closes at 37,020 and 37,050. So it's going to be a very, very strong support level, guys, where I'm expecting a bounce if we do have an aggressive drop. I will be going long aggressively. I'm already telling you this here on the video. So we're also hitting that support, okay, from the descending wedge. Probably the last touch before we get the real potential bounce and breakout. Okay, I do see this scenario potentially happening, you know, in between today and tomorrow. So stay cautious, guys. Don't use too much leverage. stay protected. Now, let's see what happens tomorrow with the FOMC meeting. It's going to be very interesting and very volatile. Now, I want to talk about Margix trading platform gaining in volume and gaining in popularity. I see a lot of people talking about this exchange platform every single week. And your question might be, I haven't heard about it. Is it safe? Does it have enough liquidity? Well, let me tell you one thing. It has been live for quite some time, so they are totally legit, of course. They have a combined liquidity of 12 exchanges in one place, so plenty of liquidity, bank-grade multi-layer security, and no personal data are required. You can get started in less than 2 minutes with just your email and a password. If you join with the link down below, you get a $50 bonus to pay trading fees and deposit plus 0.004 BTC, which is just around about $200 or even less than that. You get an additional $50 on top of that so you can trade with. Once you sign up with the link in the description, this will take you to this interface. It is a super easy friendly platform to use. Okay, you have 5 tabs at the top. Okay, first one, the trade one, where you do see the trading view platform with the drawing tools at the left. They have Bitcoin, Ethereum, ADA, Solana, a bunch of altcoins to trade with also at the left, where you're going to place your orders, limit order, market order, the percentage, the leverage here, as you can see, buy, sell, your stop loss, your take profit. Down below here, open positions, active orders, position history. And at the right, you do have your order book. So as you know, very similar to other ones and very easy to use. Here at Wallet is where you deposit and withdraw your crypto. There's just 2 tabs, super easy. You can also buy Bitcoin here using MasterCard and Visa. On settings is where you're going to change your language. You are going to improve your security if you wish to put Google Authenticator. And on referrals, you do have a referral program, of course, if you want to suggest to another friend to use the platform if you do like it. And in support, if you have any issues at all, they will answer in less than 24 hours. They have a live chat, help center, and video tutorials, okay? Step by step on how to use this platform, which is absolutely great. Just very short 1 to 2 minute videos here on how to get started with Margix. Remember, you have an insane bonus down below. Just depositing about $200 worth of Bitcoin, you get an additional $50 on top of that, guys. Make sure to take advantage of that bonus and let me know what you think about this exchange down below in the description. Let's jump here into the S&P 500 because we've been taking a look at the S&P 500, all right? I was pretty bullish at the support levels, got stopped out at break even most of the time because I was looking for that swing long position to see if we are going to manage, you know, to come to much higher levels. But every time I got into a trade, you know, was in profit, protected my position, stopped out, we're still continuing back down. But something interesting to show you here. We talked about this descending channel, right? Looking at the daily, we've got support, resistance, you know, finally breaking out from this descending channel. We actually coming back down to retest the resistance of the channel, turning it into support. As you can see, you know, no successful breakdown from this level, just consolidating a few wicks to the downside and consolidating at this range. This is why I think, you know, a potential big bounce is very, very possible. And if we just take a look at the last few months, all right, just, you know, look at what the price of the S&P is doing. You know, when you created the all-time highs back in December, January of this year, you know, you had a big massive drop, created a low, created a high, and, you know, check out from this resistance level, all right, right over there, you basically have a fake out. You know, this is a liquidity grab above this resistance. And if you take a look at this low, same scenario, right, where we do drop down below, it's not a successful breakout, and you just get a bunch of liquidity from down here, then come back up, get a bunch of liquidity from this lower high, and guess what is happening right now? We are actually dipping below this low over here. So another liquidity grab. What has happened each time that we've had a liquidity grab from the highs or the lows? We have reversed, and this is what is happening right now on the S&P 500. Look at these lows. We've just slightly dipped below, okay, the lows here from February, and yeah, we're basically consolidating at this range. So what, you know, just by looking at the performance that we've had, you know, the last 3 times in the last few months, getting above the highs, reversing, getting below the lows, reversing. So we are below these lows, so very likely that we are going to reverse. And one of the reasons why I'm going to explain right now is because of, I'm going to show you several reasons actually. We are hitting this support, these lows that we did create in May of 2021. We are basically at the lows from May of last year. Last year's lows, we are at those lows at this moment. As you can see, several bounces, you know, looking at the daily at the May lows of last year. But also, I like the candle that we have printed yesterday. Check out the last two times we printed a pin. This is a bullish pin bar. Look at this. We actually retested this support line, as you can see right there. We printed a pin bar on the daily. What happens? You have several days of volatility at this range, not dipping below the pin bar successfully. And then you have a pump, all right, for the last few days. So from the lows, you basically have a pretty nice pump from the pin bar, right? What is it? A 8-9% pump. You know, this is a pretty nice pump. Same scenario happening right over here, okay, once we drop below. This is a pin bar, but it has a little bit of more body, but the pin is much higher, much larger than the body. It is about 60 or 65% from the actual body, as you can see. And what happens after this bullish pin bar? You actually have some bullish momentum. You all had a little bit of volatility, not successfully breaking below the pin bar in the immediate short term inside of the 1-2 weeks, and then having some bullish momentum. So I just want to show you this, all right? Bullish momentum after printing this pin bar. We just printed a massive big pin bar yesterday. We are hitting major support. We are hitting the resistance from this descending channel. So we printed a pin bar. Isn't this telling me that, you know, we are potentially just going to have volatility the next coming days? But it's very likely that we are going to have potentially, you know, in between a 5-8% pump in the next 1 to 2 weeks. So this is why I am bullish on the SP 500 in the immediate short term, okay? We could expect that volatility, but I will be starting to get into some long positions, all right? So thank you guys. This is going to be it for this episode. Check out the Bitcoinsensus website. We have the latest news and technical analysis ideas. Latest news here. It is totally free information. It's down below in the description. The news today is Algorand becomes the official blockchain for the FIFA. Will it possibly impact the algo price? Well, I can tell you already, Algorand was up today about 20%. So make sure to check out this article on the Bitcoinsensus website. Thank you guys, and I will see you in the next video.